And are we in the end of the days, the time of the end? I'm reading from Jeremiah chapter 23. I saw fraudulence in the prophets of Samaria. They prophesied by Baal, their idols, misled my people Israel. And I see disgrace among the rabbis of Jerusalem, adultery, and continuing falsehood. They encourage the evildoers so that they do not repent. Each man of his own wickedness, they were all like Sodom to me, and Jerusalem's inhabitants were like Gomorrah. Therefore, thus says Yahweh, Master of Legions, concerning these rabbis, behold, I shall feed them wormwood and give them poisonous water to drink. For deceit has spread out over the land from the prophets, the rabbis of Jerusalem. Thus says Yahweh, Master of Legions, pay no heed to the words of these rabbis who prophesy to you. They are deluding you. They speak the vision of their own heart, not the mouth of Yahweh. They always tell those who anger me, Yahweh has spoken. There will be peace for you. And to all of you who follow the vision of his heart, they say, no evil will befall you. But which of them was exposed to the mystery of Yahweh? Who has seen or heard his words? Who obeyed his word and heeded it? Behold, the storm of Yahweh, a fury shall go forth, a tempest shall seek rest. It will rest upon the head of the wicked. Yahweh's wrath will not recede until he has accomplished it and upheld the plans of his heart. It will be in the end of days. You will have an understanding to it. And we are now in the end of days. I did not send these rabbis, yet they ran. I did not speak to them, yet they prophesied. If they were exposed to my mysteries, let them proclaim the words to my people and bring my people back from their evil ways, from their wickedness of their deeds. Am I a God only from the nearby, says Yahweh, and not a God from afar? Can a man hide his concealments, that I do not see what he's doing? The word of Yahweh. Do I not fill the heavens and the earth? The word of Yahweh. I have heard what is said by these rabbis who prophesy falsely in my name, saying, I had a dream. I had a dream. How long is anything in the heart of these rabbis who prophesy falsehood, the rabbis of their heart's deceit? And they think to make my people forget my name through their dreams that they tell each other, just as their fathers forgot my name through worshipping the idol gods. From verse 30, therefore, behold, I am acting against these prophets and rabbis, the word of Yahweh, who steal my words one from the other. Behold, I am acting against these rabbis, the word of Yahweh, who train their tongues and deliver an oration. Behold, I am acting against those who prophesy, preach with false dreams, says Yahweh, who teach them and mislead my people with their lies and with their flippancy. I did not send them, nor did I command them. They were of no benefit to this people, the word of Yahweh. And continuing from verse 39, therefore, behold, I am acting, and I shall completely forget you, and I shall discard you and the city that I gave to you and to your fathers from my presence. And I shall place upon you an everlasting disgrace and an everlasting humiliation which will never be forgotten. Continuing from chapter 24, verse 9. I shall give them over to all of the kingdoms of the earth for horror and for evil, and they will be a paradigm of shame and a parable and a lesson and a curse in all of the places to which I shall disperse them. And I shall send after them the sword, famine, and pestilence, until they are annihilated from upon the earth, which I gave them and their fathers. And this has happened to them over 2,000 years, where the pogroms have been mercilessly slaughtered, evicted out of towns and villages, frozen to death, and suffered terrible hardship. And it is because they are still holding to the oral law, the Talmud, which they came out of Babylon with. But Yahweh has a plan to choose a new group of people that they're not liars, they're not deceitful, they are truthful people. And this is what he says. And I'm in Jeremiah 24, verse 7 on. And I shall grant them the heart to know me, that I am Yahweh, and they will be a people unto me, and I shall be a God for them. For they will return to me with all of their hearts. Jeremiah chapter 30, from verse 3. For behold, the days are coming, the word of Yahweh, when I shall return the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, said Yahweh, and I will return them to the land that I gave their forefathers, and they will possess it. These are the things Yahweh spoke concerning Israel and Judah. For thus says Yahweh, a sound of terror have we heard of fear and not peace. Ask now and see if a male has ever given birth. Why? Then do I see that every man puts his hand upon his loins like a woman in childbirth, and all the faces are turned pallid? Woe! For that day will be momentous. There is nothing like it. It will be a time of trouble for Jacob. But he shall be saved out of it. And it shall be on that day, the word of Yahweh, Master of Legions, that I will break off the yoke of the conqueror, the evil spirits, satanic forces from your neck, and I will tear your straps, and foreigners will no longer enslave him. They will serve Yahweh their God, and David their king, whom I will establish over them. But as for you, do not fear, my servant Jacob, the word of Yahweh, and do not be afraid, Israel, for behold, I am saving you from distant places, and your descendants from the land of their captivity, and Jacob will return and be at peace and tranquil, and none will make him afraid. For I am with you, the word of Yahweh, to save you. For I will bring annihilation upon all of the nations of the earth amongst whom I have dispersed you, but upon you I will not bring annihilation. I will chastise you with justice, but I will never eliminate you completely. Now, it just mentioned there in Jeremiah about a time of trouble. There's more about the time of trouble, and we're going to Daniel chapter 12. And I'm reading from verse 1. At that time, Michael will stand up, that great heavenly prince, who stands in support of the members of your people. And there will be a time of trouble such as there has never been since there was a nation until this time. But at that time your people will escape. Everything that is found written in this book will occur. Many of those who are asleep in the dust will be resurrected, those for everlasting life, and some for shame. That's Daniel 12. Yahweh gives us more information on the resurrection. I'm in Ezekiel chapter 37. The hand of Yahweh was upon me. It took me out by the Spirit of Yahweh and set me down in the midst of a valley, and it was filled with bones. He passed me over them all around and around, and behold, there were very many numerous upon the face of the valley, and behold, they were very dry. Then he said to me, Son of man, can these bones come to life? And I said, Lord Yahweh Elohim, you know. He said to me, prophesy over these bones. Say to them, O dry bones, hear the word of Yahweh. Thus says Lord Yahweh Elohim to these bones, behold, I bring a spirit into you, and you will come to life. I will put sinews upon you, and I will bring up flesh upon you, and I will coat you with skin. Then I will put a spirit into you, and you will come to life. Then you will know that I am Yahweh. So I prophesied as I had been commanded, and there was a sound. And as I was prophesying, then behold, there was a noise, and the bones grew near to each other, each to its matching bone. Then I looked, and behold, upon them were sinews, and flesh had come up, and skin had covered them over, but there was no spirit in them. Then he said to me, prophesy to the spirit, prophesy, O son of man, and say to the spirit, thus said the Lord Yahweh Elohim, come from the four directions, O spirit, and blow into these people, that they may come to life. I prophesied as I had been commanded, and the spirit entered them, and they all came to life. They stood upon their feet, a very, very great legion of them. And he said to me, Son of man, these bones, they are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they are saying, our bones are dried out, and our hope is lost. We are doomed. Therefore prophesy and say to them, thus says the Lord Yahweh Elohim, behold, I am opening up your graves and raising you up from your grave, my people, and I will bring you to the soil of Israel. Then you will know that I am Yahweh, when I have opened up your graves, and when I raise you up from your graves, my people, and when I put my spirit into you, and you come to life, and I set you on your soil, then you will know that I am Yahweh. I have spoken, and I have fulfilled the word of Yahweh. Now, when we're talking about Yahweh resurrecting the people, this means that he has a book. He has a book of all the names of the good and the bad, and it's first mentioned, and come with me to Exodus chapter 32. These are the words from Yahweh. He said to Moses, whoever has sinned against me, I shall erase him from my book. So let's have a look at his book. Now come with me to Malachi chapter 3, 16 to 17. Verse 16. Then those who fear Yahweh spoke to one another, and Yahweh listened and heard, and a book of remembrance was written before him for those who fear Yahweh, and those who give thought to his name. They will be a precious treasure for me, Yahweh says, Master of legions, on the day which I will bring about. That's the day of resurrection. And I will have mercy on them as a man has mercy on his son who serves him. Then you will return, and you will see the difference between the righteous and the wicked, between one who serves God and one who does not serve him. Now, before this event takes place, there's a message that Yahweh gives to us. And I'm in Malachi 3, verse 23. And he says, Behold, I send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and awesome day of Yahweh. And he will turn back to God the hearts of the fathers and their sons, and the hearts of the sons with their fathers, lest I come and strike the land with utter destruction. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and awesome day of Yahweh. Now, who are these people, the new redeemed, the new people chosen by the hand of Yahweh? And how does he choose them? Well, he says to Isaiah the prophet, he said, I'm going to give you the message of salvation that will go throughout the whole earth. So I'm in Isaiah 49, starting from verse 5. And now Yahweh, who formed me from the belly to be a servant to him, said, I should return Jacob to him, so that Israel would be gathered to him. So I was honored in God's eyes, and my God was my strength. He said, It is insufficient that you just be a servant for me only to raise up the tribes of Jacob and to restore the ruins of Israel. I will make you a light to the nations, all the nations of the earth, so that my salvation may extend to the whole ends of the earth. Thus says Yahweh, the Redeemer of Israel and the Holy One, to the despised souls, to the one loathed by nations, to the servants of rulers, kings will see you and arise. Officers will prostrate themselves because of Yahweh, who is faithful, and the Holy One of Israel, who has chosen you. And this is part of the way he chooses the new Israel. Thus says Yahweh, in a time of favor I answer you, and on a day of salvation I assist you. I will protect you, and I will make you the people of the new covenant, to restore the land, and to cause you to inherit desolate heritages. And as you know in the previous report, a lot of the places have been demolished and destroyed. Jerusalem is also destroyed. You will say to the prisoners, Go out, and to those in the darkness, Be revealed. They will graze along the roads, and upon all of the hilltops will be their pasture. They will not hunger, and they will not thirst. Heat and sun will not afflict them, for their merciful one, Yahweh, will lead them, and along streams of water will he guide them. I will make all my mountains into roads, and all my paths will be uplifted. Behold, these will come from afar, and behold, these will come from the north and from the west, and these from the land of the Sinites, that's China. Sing a glad song, O heavens, and rejoice, O earth. O mountains, break out in glad song, for Yahweh will have comforted his people and been merciful to his meek one. Zion, he goes on to say, Zion says, Yahweh has forsaken me. My Lord has forgotten me. Can a woman forget her baby, or not feel compassion for the child of her womb? Even these may forget, but I would not forget you. Behold, I have engraved you upon my palms. Your walls are before me always. Your children will hasten to return, and your ruiners and your destroyers will leave you. Raise your eyes all around and see. They have all gathered. They have come to you as I live, the word of Yahweh. I swear that you will clothe yourself with them all like jewelry and adorn yourself like a bride. As for your ruins and the desolations and your devastated lands, you will now become crowded with inhabitants, and those who would devour you will be distanced from you. The children from whom you had been bereaved will yet say in your ears, "The place is too crowded for me. Move aside for me that I may dwell with you." And you will say in your heart, "Who has begotten me these? For I have been bereaved, I have been alone, an exile, and a wanderer. So who has reared these? Behold, I had been left by myself. Where are these from? For thus says my Lord Yahweh Elohim, behold, I will raise my hand towards nations, and I will hoist my banner towards all peoples, and they will bring your children in their arms, and your daughters will be carried on their shoulders. Kings will be your nurturers, and their princesses will be your wet nurses. With faces to the ground, they will prostrate themselves to you. They will lick the dust of your feet. Then you will know that I am Yahweh, and those who put their hopes in me shall not be ashamed. Yahweh gives us a lot more information concerning his redeemed new group called Israel. Come with me to Isaiah chapter 60. Arise, shine, for your light has arrived, and the glory of Yahweh shines upon you. For behold, darkness may cover the earth, and a thick cloud may cover the kingdoms, but upon you Yahweh will shine, and his glory will be seen upon you. Nations will walk by your light, and kings by the brilliance of your shine. Lift up your eyes all around and see. They are all assembling and coming to you. Your sons will arrive from afar, and your daughters will be raised at their side. Then you will see and be radiant. Your heart will be startled and broadened, for the affluence of the west will be turned over to you, and the wealth of the nations will come to you. An abundance of camels will envelop you, camel colts and Midian at Ephah, and all of them will come from Sheba. Gold and frankincense will they bear, and the praises of Yahweh will they proclaim. Verse 9, for the islands will place their hope in me, with the ships of Tarshish in earlier times, to bring your children from afar with their gold and silver with them, for the name of Yahweh your God, and for the Holy One of Israel, for he will have glorified you. Then the sons of the foreigners will build your walls, and their kings will serve you. Though I struck you in my indignation, in my favor have I been compassionate to you. Your gates will be open continuously, day and night. They will not be closed, for them to bring you the wealth of the nations, and their kings under escort. For the nation and the kingdoms that does not serve you will perish, and those nations will be utterly destroyed. Verse 14, the sons of your oppressors will go to you submissively, and all who scorned you will prostrate themselves at the soles of your feet, and they will call you the city of Yahweh, Zion, the Holy One of Israel. Instead of your being forsaken and despised without wayfarers, I will make you into an eternal pride, a joy for generation after generation. You will nurse from the milk of the nations, and from the breast of kings will you nurse. Then you will realize that I, Yahweh, am your Savior and your Redeemer, the Mighty One of Jacob. In verse 19, the sun will no longer be for you the light of the day and brightness, and the moon will not illuminate for you. Yahweh will be an eternal light for you, and your God will be your splendor. Never again will your sun set, and your moon will not be withdrawn, for Yahweh will be unto you an eternal light, and the days of your mourning will be ended. Your people will all be righteous. They will inherit the land forever, a shoot of my planting, my handiwork in which to glory. The smallest will increase 1,000-fold, and the youngest into a mighty nation. I am Yahweh, and in its time I will hasten it. After Yahweh's day of vengeance goes on to tell you about the new Israel people, they will then be called elms of righteousness, the planting of Yahweh in which to glory. They will rebuild the ancient ruins, the wastelands of former times they will restore. They will renew ruined cities, generations of old wastelands. Foreigners will stand and tend your flocks, and the sons of strangers will be your ploughmen and your vineyard workers, and you will be called priests of Yahweh, ministers of our God. Will be said of you, you will eat the wealth of the nations and will pride yourselves in their glory, instead of your shame, which was double, and the disgrace which they would bemoan as their portion. Therefore, they will inherit a double portion in their land, and eternal gladness will be theirs. For I am Yahweh, who loves justice and hates a burnt offering bought with robbery, and I will repay their deeds in truth, and I will seal an eternal covenant with them. Their offspring will be known amongst the nations, and their descendants amidst the people. All who see them will recognize them, that they are the seed that Yahweh has blessed. Isaiah chapter 62. For Zion's sake I will not be silent, and for Jerusalem's sake I will not be still, until her righteousness emanates like a bright light, and her salvation blazes like a torch. Nations will perceive your righteousness, and all of the kings your honor, and you will be called by a new name, which the mouth of Yahweh will pronounce. Then you will be a crown of splendor in the hand of Yahweh, and a royal diadem in the palm of your God. It will no longer be said of you, forsaken ones, and of your land it will no longer be said, a desolate place. For you will be called, my desire is in her, and your land inhabited. For Yahweh's desire is in you, and your land will become inhabited. As a young man takes a maiden in marriage, so will your children settle in you, and like a bridegroom rejoicing over his bride, so will your God rejoice over you. Now that we have given you the exact true words from Yahweh the Creator God, it's interesting to note that this is what Yahweh says about the redeemed Israel. These are his words which is describing where they will be and how they are blessed. This is absolutely nothing like what the Christian message is being given to the Christian people, that there is some fairyland heaven where people will go to as the redeemed Israel. So what we're looking at here is just the words from Yahweh describing his new people, new Israel, redeeming the new land, rebuilding the old, demolished and destroyed cities. There's some more details of what Yahweh plans to do, and you can read that in Isaiah chapter 65. But I will just read verses 17 to 25. For behold, I am creating new heavens and a new earth. The former events will no longer be recalled and will not be taken to heart. Only rejoice and be happy forever for what I am creating. For behold, I am recreating, notice the words recreating Jerusalem as gladness and its people as joy, for I will rejoice over Jerusalem and exult with my people. And there will no longer be heard in it the sound of weeping and the sound of an outcry. Never again will come from there a young child or an old man who will not fill his days, for the youth of 100 years old will die, and the sinner at the age of 100 years will be cursed. They will build houses, and they will inhabit them. They will plant vineyards and eat their fruit. They will not build and have another live in it. They will not plant and have another eat it. For the lifetime of my people will be like the lifetime of a tree. And don't forget, some trees live for thousands of years. And my chosen ones, the new Israel, will wear out their handiwork. They will not struggle in vain, nor produce for futility, for they are the offspring of the blessed ones of Yahweh, and their descendants will be with them. It will be that before they call, I will answer them. While they are yet speaking, I will hear. Wolf and the lamb will graze as one. A lion like cattle will eat straw. A snake's food will be dirt, and they will not inflict any harm nor destruction in my holy mountain, says Yahweh. You will notice by those words that the order of nature, the order of creation as it was in the creation time of Garden of Eden, is being restored back to what it was. And that is part of the plan that Yahweh has, not only to save this earth, but he's going to renew it, and he's going to renew the heavens. And the order of creation and nature will be reverted back to the way he wanted it in the beginning. Now, there's a lot more verses that can confirm with you that the new Israel, the chosen people, will inherit the heavenly kingdom of Yahweh. One that's not often used, but I'll read it to you, and it's in Daniel 7, verse 26. But judgment will be set, and they will take away his dominion to be annihilated and to be destroyed completely. That's talking about the evil, wicked banking cartel, New World Order people. They're going to be destroyed by the hand of Yahweh. And the kingship, the dominion, and the grandeur of the kingdoms under all the heavens will be given to the Holy Supreme Nations, the new Israel group. Its kingdom will be an everlasting kingdom, and all rulers of the earth will serve it, will serve and obey these people. And there's more to confirm in Daniel chapter 2. Daniel chapter 2, verse 28 says, the God in heaven reveals secrets, and he has informed King Nebuchadnezzar what will be at the end of days. when you go to Daniel 2, verse 44, then in the days of these kingdoms, that's all of the Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, Rome, etc., they are all destroyed in one event by the stone represented by Yahweh's kingdom hitting the image and destroying them all at once. It says, in the days of these kingdoms, the God of heaven will establish his kingdom that will never be destroyed, nor will its sovereignty be left to another people, and it will crumble and consume all of these kingdoms, and it will stand forever. Just as you saw that a stone was hewn from the mountain, but not by human hands, and it will crumble all of the other kingdoms in one event. Or about destroying all of the idols and images, Zechariah chapter 13. I will eliminate the names of the idols from the land, and they will not be mentioned again. I will also remove the false prophets, rabbis, and the spirit of impurity from the land. And it will happen when a man will prophesy or preach falsely in the future that his father and mother, who bore him, will say to him, you should not live. Now let's talk about the sacrifices, sin, blood sacrifices. According to the old book and 3 of the different prophets, Yahweh made absolutely no command to conduct the killing and have burnt sacrifices. Let's have a look. We'll go to Amos, and Amos chapter 5 from 21 on. I hate and loathe your festive offerings. I will not be appeased by your assemblies. For even if you offer to me burnt offerings and your meal offerings, I will not be appeased, and I will not regard the peace offerings from your fatlings. Remove from me the multitude of your songs and music of your lutes. I will not hear. Rather, let justice be revealed like water, and righteousness like a mighty stream. Did you bring any sacrifices and offerings to me for 40 years in the wilderness, O house of Israel? You will carry off Shikoth, your king, and your images of Chayun and Kochav, your god. You made for yourselves these idols. I will exile you to beyond Damascus, said Yahweh. God of legions is his name. Now there's more on this subject. I'll go with you to Jeremiah 7:21. Thus says Yahweh, Master of legions, God of Israel, add your burnt offerings to your peace offerings and eat the meat, for I did not speak with your forefathers, nor did I command them on the day that I took them out of the land of Egypt, concerning burnt or peace offerings. Rather, it was only this thing that I commanded them when I brought them out of Egypt, says Yahweh, listen to my voice, that I will be your God and you will be my people, and you will go on the entire way that I command you, so that it will be well for you. But they did not listen to me, and they did not incline their ear. Now that's a statement in Jeremiah, which is roughly about 480 or 500 BC. And you've got to realize that this is contrary to the so-called instructions that were given to Moses 1800 BC, where it is alleged that Yahweh was having conversations with Moses to kill animal sin blood sacrifices. Well, one of them's got to be wrong. Yahweh doesn't tell lies. And I would believe rather these 3 prophets that have given you this report than I would believe what is allegedly put in Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Why? Well, the main reason, Moses came out of Egypt. Egypt was heavily into blood sin sacrifice. And without any proof, it appears to me that the blood sin sacrifice was carried over from the pagan worship into today. But Yahweh here makes it very clear in a couple of places. He says, I did not command them throughout the whole 40 years that I brought them out of Egypt. This is what the prophet Isaiah has to say about 800 BC. Why do I need your numerous sacrifices, says Yahweh? I am sated with elevation offerings of rams and the fat of fatlings, the blood of bulls, sheep, and goats, that I do not desire. When you come to appear before me, who sought this from your hand, to trample my courtyards? Bring your worthless meal offerings no longer. It is an incense of an abomination to me. It goes on to say, when you spread out your hands in prayer, I will hide my eyes from you. Even if you were to intensify your prayers, I will not listen. Your hands are replete with blood. Wash yourselves, purify yourselves, remove the evil of your deeds from before my eyes. Cease doing evil. Learn to do good. Seek justice. Vindicate the victim. Render justice to the orphan like the grievance of the widow. Now, Yahweh made lots of promises that he would redeem Israel, bring them back to their own homeland. This chart that you're looking at on your screen will give you an idea of what's happened. When the old wicked Israel has been given the sack, a new load of people coming in, which is the prerogative of Yahweh to do. And if you read there, you can see there quite easily how the promises that Yahweh gave will be upheld.